Day 3 on my empath narcissist journey. So what tipped me off? What is it that made me figure out or decide this is what's been happening? It's a couple of things, like just over a couple of hours. But so one of them was an app that I discovered. I didn't discover it. I'm sure it's been out there for a while, but I signed up and got onto a new app the other night. And it's one of those Signal type apps where like the calls aren't traceable and the conversations can be deleted and whatnot. The reason I know about Signal is because that is where this person re-engaged with me last year. So our reasons for being on it very different. Mine, I think, was spawned a little bit more around, being able to get in touch with friends in like an underground emergency situation, like if I needed to leave the country kind of thing, or advocate or help people because like I'm a liberal. But that's where he discovered I was. And so that's where he reached out. Now, I immediately knew the reason he was on that was for cheating purposes, because he is a cheater. And I don't want to talk about why I know that. It's not my proudest moment. But he is, and he has used many methods to try to engage in that fashion with people. So at any rate, that's where he started reaching out to me last year. And so that particular app, there's more than one like that. And so I happened to get onto another one just the other night. And when I went to load my contacts to get my friends, he popped up. So the fact that I saw him switch from the one that I was on, that he and I had communicated on, to another one that I wasn't on, let me know that he was up to something. And obviously trying to keep it from me because I had already kind of figured out some of his avenues. Also, he's not a social media person, not now. He used to be. And I think part of the reason that he's become a digital ghost over the years is because, one of the things that happened between us 13 years ago, I had a lot of receipts from online sorts of things. So I think he learned how to cheat better and how to lie better. And he is not on any of kind of these things, which is great because it also helps to limit his interactions with me, because he is one for sort of not stalking. He's not crazy. He's just a narcissist. But like he does sort of get a little like he wants to know what's going on. And so if he can find that out through someone's social media, he's going to watch it, study it. And he used to do that with me as well. Used to surprise me in places that I had checked into. I know that sounds creepy, but it's not. And he was not creepy. That was a dynamic that I was participating in actively and liked. And so like, please, I know I'm like sound like I'm apologizing for him, but like, I just want to be very clear that like, I also have participated in some of these behaviors very willingly. But at any rate, I had sort of understood his social media patterns and now kind of his patterns for dishonesty and hiding and whatnot. So the second I saw that, I was like, okay, that's what he's been doing since the ghosting from about a month ago. And then and I had something to say about that because I had a feeling it's like, this is what you did. You ghosted me because I was on to you and like things were getting complicated. So you needed to start a new cycle with a new host. And so you're doing it through this particular app and however else you've met or found people. So I was upset about that, obviously, because I didn't understand where the ghosting came from. We did not have a fight. There was no argument. Everything had been great. And then just out of nowhere, it stopped. So like usually with us, there's some kind of like a conflict or a big, like, again, scorched earth. And like, it's clear that we're not going to talk to each other. But this was something where like, there's no communication. It just stopped. And we had an agreement that a ghosting was not going to happen. That regardless of what we were up to or not up to, that we would just be honest and communicate wherever our heads were at. Like if we needed space or like didn't have capacity or whatever, it was just something we would tell each other and move on and take space, but no ghosting. And so the ghosting happened. And that's when I was like, oh, all right, I have to make a decision about this because this is a boundary that I had put in place. And if I don't call out that I see you crossing this boundary, then I'm sending the message that I'm sort of still waiting here and I'm going to be here whenever it is you might turn up next. And that's not like, okay, like I can't let you cross the boundary. So I think when the ghosting happened, I'm kind of all over the place. I should have organized this better. But when the ghosting happened like a month or so ago, I let it go for about like a week and a half. And then I decided, okay, now I'm going to just acknowledge it. And I texted him and I was like, listen, ghosting is malice. Like, it's a choice. This is something you are actively doing. You know that it's my boundary. You know that I can't promise you that I'm going to wait for you or be here at the end of your whatever it is you're dealing with, that it like forces me to make a decision that we didn't need to make, that I was totally flexible and casual and like capable of just sort of like playing it out every day, without worrying about the future, just kind of like making sure that I left the option open that we could maybe eventually like get together for real versus this other playful stuff that we do. So it was a text around like, I see you, I see what you're doing. I can't like abide by this. And you're forcing me to make a decision I don't think I have to make right now, but it's the risk that you're choosing to take. And I never got a response to that. Not that I was expecting one, but based on the level of like emotional depth that we had shared, very recently, I felt like, okay, we've crossed like an emotional threshold where like you should at least have some acknowledgement of like, you've hurt me. And I'm not like, just to acknowledge and say, you're right, I'm not handling this correctly, but I do want space, right? Like that would have been fine. So nothing. And then a few days went by and I think I left like another message, like I left a voice message this time and I was upset. I was crying in the message and I was just like, I don't understand what's happening. I don't know why you're doing this. Like, this is causing so much pain that is unnecessary when you can just tell me the truth and like, I will handle whatever that is. But like, please don't make me make this decision by myself, because I know what's going to happen is that someday down the road, you're going to blame me for it. So that all happened, right? So then I see this, app the other night, and I haven't tried to message him since all that stuff. It did sort of shock me that, again, like, okay, I'm crying now, and you're still not acknowledging that. And it struck me as odd because like, I don't really know anyone that would let something like that go without some sort of acknowledgement, even if not like that day, at least maybe a few days later when you've had some time to think. But he didn't. And so I put that in the mental file. So then I see this app and I realize, okay, that's because he's got somebody else and he's doing this. So when I went to say something the other night about like, okay, now I know what you've been up to. And like, I am now like officially done. Like, I see you for real. And like, this is disgusting. And like, what you are doing is disgusting. And I'm not playing this game anymore. And I'm not going to be here at the end of the road for you. When I went to do that, my texts were blocked, which is interesting because we usually only block each other when we've had an argument or like ended it. So between the app and him blocking me, and I don't know when he blocked me. It could have been like right when he saw me come on the app, because I know he saw. Or it could have been, who knows, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I don't know. But the fact that he did it when there was actually no like real conflict between us, and like he still like kind of had the opportunity to acknowledge or not, but like there wasn't anything like hugely bad. So the fact that he blocked me for no real reason when I hadn't really like texted him at all, I like once I said what I needed to say, I was done. That tells me that he knew something was coming based on his own behavior, not by anything I was doing, but he knew that there was possibly a reason I was going to get angry with him. So I don't know. I kind of put those things together and I see a pattern. And then I realized like with those things together and some of the things that I've seen on the narcissist empath thing, I was like, oh my God, he knew exactly what he was doing. And he was prepared for me to find out and not want to take accountability for it. So that's what tipped me off. It was the app and then the blocked text for no reason.